Jesus, you found a 911 lover. Commander, you found a 911 soldier. Jesus, you found a 911 vessel.
If you look at the topic given to us, the topic is good governance and economic development, roles of citizens. So it means this is the meat, the real meat of the discussion. So I'll start this by looking at what President John F. Kennedy said in 1961. He said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Now, I decided to start by saying certain general statements that, to me, it appears that our problem is not properly diagnosed. People don't sit back to reflect on the totality of our problems. So we focus our minds on the expectations, but we don't try to sit back and ask, why is this thing not working? Why are we not moving? Why are we? Because at times, to me, it looks as if you are in a cycle. It looks as if you take one step forward, you take four backwards. And the whole thing goes on and goes on and goes on. When the people that wants to run the government are outside, they are telling you, oh, don't worry, once I get there, I will turn the upside down. Everything will start working. This thing will work. Tomorrow, the moment they get in, I believe most of the time, they now see the reality. Because most of the time, the reality may not dawn on them fully when they are outside. So they believe that they know it. But okay, let's even look at a very good example that I was laughing at it now. I was reading the papers either yesterday or today, and I saw that people are criticizing the present government that, look, he has already appointed 48 ministers. So they are asking, how many are we going to have? Where is it going? And some states are saying they are not yet represented. Or your state are saying that the Adelabu also that you put is not our man. It's not. It belongs to our core party. It's not APC. Some states are saying, out of all the people selected, they have not gotten their own representative. So I was just laughing and saying, look, this is the problem now. Because now, the man already selected 48 already. Maybe he had in mind that he's going to put it down. Then when people go to him, I don't know whether you read about 2 or 3 weeks ago when they said Wike went to him and because he was going to drop Wike. From what people said, he had already made up his mind that Wike would not come into the minister. But Wike went to him and pointed out his mistake that, look, we assisted you, we helped you to put it, then he submitted it. So what do we do? Are you getting our problem? Because the problem is for all of us to reflect on. Like I said before, I'm not providing solution. I'm just here to highlight issues for all of us to reflect on it. Because already we have 48 ministers. But some people are still clamoring that, look, because our problem is that because of the diversity of our nation, in terms of the number of states, the tribes and whatever, until you put my own man there, that is when I believe that you have done the job. If you don't put my own man, put every other person, you have done nothing. And that's why we are saying, please, let's reflect, let's ask ourselves, because these are the issues that we should be looking at. There is also the erroneous belief that government must meet all the needs of citizens, including what I call self-inflicted ones. Because that's part of the problem. You marry 4 wives, you have 20 children. Then you are saying government should start giving scholarship to everybody because you must. So these are issues. Discipline and other things that are needed, we play them away. They are not necessary. Things must just work. Then we are not ready to assist government. You know, in other climes, you find that, for example, if there's something I know that people do in UK. If you move to the area, within 2 weeks that you get to the area, they will allow police to know that there is a new person in the area. Particularly if you are of color. And so the moment once they see you parking in, they watch you, you won't see them all. It's from window. They will just be from the window there, they will just, and the moment they notice you, first time, second time, they will call police. So before you know it, you just see police coming in and saying, well, we just going around, we just want to know what is going on around here. Are you new here? And then you start wondering how on earth they know that you are just moving to that place. That is their job. That is the. But in Nigeria now, you see an atrocity being committed. No be me. You no concern me. If say na me go report me, they come dey chase me now. No, I won't go report. So how do you want the government to know? So God will help us, but we are just telling ourselves some of the things that we need to do. So, going to the next slide, I've said here that expected roles of citizens are so many, but we cannot cover all, but we'll just talk about, from the next slide, we just pick a few of them. We are supposed to pay taxes, levies, and other dues to the various levels of government and their agencies, because we need to recognize that without needed revenue, the governments cannot provide expected results. We should avoid all acts of economic sabotage, smuggling of imported goods, illegal export of fuel, leaking oil pipes, vandalizing bridges. You know, there was another one recently, adulteration of aviation fuel, which brought the whole plane down. You can see how far people can go in terms of looking for money. Because I mean, you know, it's so scary. You went, fuel that is supposed to be pumped, you adulterated it. And you know that that plane is going to carry maybe 150 people, and then you don't care what happens to them, as long as you make your own money. So God will help us. So it's something for all of us to reflect upon, because to me I don't have solution. I don't know. Because when I read some newspapers cuttings, usually what I ask myself is, what have we become? You know? I remember the sausage case of a girl that was living in redemption camp, told the parents that she was going back to campus last week. I don't know whether some of us remember that story. The lady left last week. Left her parents in redemption camp. Told them she was going back to LASU campus, not knowing that the boyfriend was waiting for him and for her by the roadside. Then joined the boyfriend, and they went to Osun State. And the boy and the mother virtually took the boy to the lady to go and use her for ritual. And it was even the disheartening thing to me is that it's even the mother that said that used the mortar to hit the girl on the head. So I asked myself, where are we going? What have we become? How on earth will a mother that has given birth to her own child be so focused on this worldly thing that you are going to live and kill another person just because of money? So this question for all of us is not me, it's not, we should ask ourselves. So the next one, comply with laws, guidelines, and directives emanating from the different tiers of government and their agencies. It includes traffic laws, sanitary laws. You know, we are fond of breaking laws. And when you travel to other places, you see that sometimes in some other countries it's like the exact opposite. They don't toy with their laws. Even as near here as Ghana. If you go to Ghana, I know there was one particular situation that we are saying. It's like we are here. There's a road that goes like this, very long road. And then there is some opening in between. So, as someone like that, when we got to place, he said, we're waiting now. You know, go talk. Now, here we can go. He said, that is not, they know they do that one here. I said, nah. I said, what do you mean? I think we are going out. He said here that as far as they are concerned, they must get to where they provided for turning. And if they don't get there, they won't turn. If it is in my own country, we know they look twice. We don't do pam, we don't turn. So we need to comply with laws, guidelines, and directives emanating from the different tiers of government and their agencies. It includes traffic laws, sanitary laws, and contracts entered into, like rent agreements. You know, to enforce rent agreement in the country is a very funny one. People sign agreements and then the second day they turn us upside down. They are not even interested in what is there. And they are doing the opposite. And you find that in some other countries, you dare not do that. You can't do it. I have a friend who is, was in Manchester, and by the time the money, his rent was, he had a problem in the workplace. They started reducing his hours gradually, you know. It's like you work 8 hours before. So they started saying, oh, you can, because of the scale of operation is going down. So they reduced it to 6. Later they reduced to 4. So he saw that his income was gradually getting down. So it got him to a point that he could not pay the rent. Now I remember that what he did, because we met at the airport on 30th of a particular month, and I said, oh boy, what did they go do for Nigeria? He said, oh boy, what country had that if I know what has happened to him, I don't think he said he had to distribute that his wife and children, he carried them to a relation's house. That him now is going to take cover in Nigeria. That from Nigeria he will start applying for job over there. And I said, is it that bad? He said, if the tomorrow first meet him in that house, that there is no excuse whatsoever, he must pay the rent. How do you understand me? Meaning that if your rent expires July 30th, and you make a mistake of allowing August 1 to meet you in that property, you will pay the full rent. Nobody will ask you not to pay it. Nowhere. But you know what is going on here. Support the efforts of government by providing complementary infrastructural facilities and help in the maintenance of those provided. You know, people most of the time don't like to spend their money for anything they call government. You know, sometimes when I drive around, I pity the country because, you know, if you go to Okota Road now, near those shops, there is a pothole there, a big one now. Each time I pass there, I just ask myself that maybe if they put a load of granite is about 70k. And by the time you put a load or load of granite there, that place will become smooth. Now, can you imagine the number of downfalls, the number of cars, even those that have businesses there, all these transport companies that have businesses there, as far as they are concerned, what they are waiting for is that it is the government's job. Government must come and do it. Whereas, contributing just 500, 1,000 with those large number of people would fix that thing and then they will have a better road. And their own vehicles will even last longer. But nobody is interested in that. As far as it is government, government must do it. The next slide. Truthfulness, honesty, and commitment in employment and all dealings. Like we say in banking, we should make our word our bond. There are too many cases of promises and lack of accountability everywhere. In government, private organizations, schools. And I added that it is, well, it may not be in the slide, but I put it that transparency and accountability is very critical to getting trust and support. It is not by mouth. Some people try to do it by mouth. I belong to a school, an old school association, and we've been contributing money. So, one of our friends that is in Canada, I just called him and said, look, you people, you keep on collecting our money and you are not accounting for it. He said, we are accounting for it too. I said, I don't understand. What do you mean by you are accounting for it? He said, they are accounting for it. I said, don't do it in your own. As far as you are concerned, you are concerned. I said, me, I don't see anything you are accounting. So, initially, he took it as if I'm attacking him. So he felt so bad that, so even Shegun, you can't trust me. I said, look, Bayo, it's not about trust, it's about reality. That me, I say I'm an accountant, I don't like deceiving anybody. Transparency and accountability is something you must display. You don't tell me by mouth. You do it. When I see it, I will know it. So, we now have cause to collect another set of money. And surprisingly now, he started listing, this is how much we have collected, this is how much we have paid. And to his own surprise, he now saw that people who have always ignored the notice started contributing. So he now called me. I said, this your system is working magical. That he has seen that people who are not contributing, who are silent before, they are silent. I said, that is it. Because they are afraid to talk to you. Me, I talk to you because I'm not afraid of you. But for them, they were afraid to mention it. That you are not doing what they expect you to do. Now that you are doing it, in fact, some of them started promising, I will send it, I'll send it. So he was surprised that, so these people will, that's the thing now. What is missing before is the open, you are not transparent enough. People cannot see what you are doing with the money. So it's not just collect. If you collect, people cannot see what you are doing with the money, then you are not helping anybody. So it's important. I also mentioned the four-way test by Rotary, which can also help us. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So we need to be disciplined and hardworking. We need to be prayerful for the nation through fasting and prayers. We need to make self-sacrifice for the nation. We also need to be security conscious, as prevention of crime is a job for all. It's not Mr. A or Mr. B's job. In my own street meeting, this is something I always emphasize that, look, if you see a stranger, don't hesitate, just go and challenge him. If you see somebody parking his car in your street or a car in your street and the person is staying on the same spot for too long, there is nothing on earth that says you cannot approach that person and say, can we help you? You are not fighting the person. But the important thing is that prevention is better than cure. Because you are going to see that by the time you ask the right question, the person becomes uncomfortable to stay long. Even if he's planning something negative, through that kind of question, the person will start thinking otherwise. Because by the time you notice that you have seen his face, he will start thinking twice that, and you know that the way they operate, it's not just one person. That's the unfortunate thing. If you are looking at Mr. A, maybe there are about 3 or 4 of them on that street. And most of the time what they do is position themselves and they are using phone to contact. So laxity with one, if we are careless with one, it means we are exposing ourselves unduly to the others. The next slide, I said we should project positive image of the country when on visit or residing in foreign lands. Negative publicity about the country will eventually affect most citizens adversely. You know, for me, I always feel so, I feel as if it's me that they are doing it against when I see people talking negative about Nigeria out there. But some of them, so many things we do that reflect Nigeria in bad image. You get to airline counter, you want to check in your this thing. They say it has to be. Then the next thing, our people will start abusing them. Why did you have to say it's 30 something? My own is not 30. It has to. You can't change their law. They can't because of you change their law. Why can't we comport ourselves and respect and obey the law? They were announced in the plane. We are going to disembark based on from the front. So if you are at the back, wait until the person that is in front of you stands up. And you will be surprised. Immediately they finish that announcement. And they play back. What do you see? Everybody. The man don't want it, he's not carrying that. Then they smash it forward. Then you say, don't you listen? I mean, you didn't listen to what he said. Because you see, all this little arrogant, irresponsible behavior end up allowing people to pursue us as, you know, they look at us one kind. Because if they have made all those announcements, they expect it to be complied with. Are you getting me? You know, because these are, I see a lot of that, and so project positive image of the country when on visit or residing in foreign lands. Some people will go and start saying country is not working, everything is not doing well and all that. Well, I'm not saying it's working. I'm not saying it's not working. But from our own little experience, since we don't have another country, so we need to always remind ourselves that when you go, you always, at one point or the other, you are going to come back home. But this is where I belong. For me, I told my people when they went to study abroad, I said, look, for me, I don't care what you study. For me, do finish your course and carry your bag home. I'm not interested in dollar or pounds. Let them hold their country. This is where we belong. That's my own interest. I don't care. So I don't need to go there. So God will help us, but that's my own view. But I believe that some people may have other views about that. Then we should shun bribery and corruption. End era of settlement or Ghana must go. Promote quality learning in educational institutions. You find that our educational institutions, they are becoming something else. I don't know whether it was this year or late last year when I read that somebody was caught taking an exam either for the wife or the husband or something like that. I don't know where. It's this year, man. Thank God. So somebody else read it. Because you see, things like that always, I usually feel so shocked that again, what on earth? What is wrong with us? Why will you go to the examination hall to write exam for your wife or your husband or even what is the problem? Can't we just comport ourselves and behave as normal human beings for once?